Boom. What's up, you guys? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about something that I rarely ever do, and something that I honestly do not recommend doing at all because it's so damn risky, and that is trading options contracts, whether call options or put options, that expire in 1 to 2 days. I mean, even when you're getting within a week of expiration on out of the money contracts, that's a little too risky for my personal risk tolerance. As many of you know, and you would know this especially if you've been a part of the portfolio or a newsletter group, my preferred option contract expires 45 to 60 days out with a strike price around, 30 to 40% in either direction of which way you think the stock is going. So whether it's call option or put option, calls up, puts down, of course. Okay, so again, I typically swing trade. This is my style. I swing trade options contracts that expire, again, a couple of months out, even going out as long as 3 or 4 months, depending on my time horizon on the stock. And that's completely dependent upon my technical and fundamental analysis, which is why I do have TradingView here. I'm sure you've already noticed that on the screen, I do have my iPhone mirrored for you. I do have it on Robinhood just right off the bat. And some of you guys already know this, but the far majority of the trades I now do, even options trading, is not done on Robinhood. I have the far majority of both my stock and options portfolio in TD Ameritrade, but Robinhood is just more aesthetically pleasing, and for old time's sake, it's always fun to mirror Robinhood on in the YouTube videos for you guys. So anyway, I do have the specific call option in front of us just so I can show you what happened over the course of the day, just how high it went and how far and how fast it fell, which also, kind of plays into why I really want to drive the point home. As if you guys don't already know this, that these are very, very risky. And the closer you get to expiration, regardless of whether the calls are in or out of the money, but especially out of the money, is extremely risky. And I do want to talk about risk, but the primary point of this video is because I didn't trade the position you see in front of us correctly. This has been a trade that I've had on for months. I've had a very, very strong fundamental and technical thesis around this position. And honestly, exactly what I thought was going to happen happened today. But I didn't time it right. And when you're a trader, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. What matters is that you time it correctly. So I want to talk to you guys about what I've learned from, kind of just my experience today, because honestly, it was a pretty rough day for your boy. But I want to talk to you guys about where I went wrong, what I learned from the mistakes I made, and what I plan to implement moving forward from here. Which is a big if, I do choose to trade options like this again and again. It's going to be rare if I do because they're so goddamn risky. But again, I just had these on the table. That's the reason I kept them. And, I do still have faith that maybe they'll put out for the birthday tomorrow. We'll see, I guess, because these do expire on May 19th. That's tomorrow, the time of recording. But the principles that I want to convey in this video, or attempt to convey in this video, should last. Should be as long as options trading is around. They should kind of stand. Okay, so to do this, I've already kind of given my general thesis, but I just want to read through the newsletter that I just sent out not too long before sitting down and recording this video. And I wasn't going to make this video, but I felt encouraged to do so because this is something that, if anything, let it be a PSA. I can't make it clear enough that this is so risky. This is so highly risky. I don't want to call it deliberate gambling, but because it just gives trading a bad name. And again, trading at the end of the day is weighing the odds and doing the best with the data set that you have at hand to weigh the odds in your favor. And when you're getting this close to expiration, it's just so, regardless of whether you think the odds are on your side or not, it just becomes so much more increasingly risky with every second that passes, literally. Okay, so let's read over this. I'll expand on any points I feel necessary. Once again, this is from the newsletter that I just sent out before sitting down. And as always, if you guys do want to trade with me on a daily basis, if you guys want to know how I'm personally trading my portfolio, all of the other I'm not going to say non-risky, but less risky options contracts that I'm trading on a day-to-day basis. That's the first link in the description box down below. My phone just locked, but I'll open it back up. Use the face. Boop. Okay. So minimize that. But if you guys want to trade with me on a daily basis, once again, not trade with me. I never encourage you guys to copy what I'm doing, but learn from my success, learn from my failures, and again, learn from my mistakes, which is the reason I'm making this video. So hopefully you don't have to, lose money. If I can lose money for you, and hopefully teach you some of the lessons that will help you not to do so. Okay, so again, first link in the description. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. You can even try it free for 7 days. The reason I have a free trial is because I'm so confident in the product that you should just try it. And if you don't like it, you can always bail out, but give it a shot. And, I look forward to having you guys on the winning team. First link in the description. And as always, I'll talk to you in the comments below. Let me know what you think about a short-term options trading. Let me know what your favorite options contract is. As I said, mine is plus or minus 30%, 45 to 60 days out. I have a couple of videos talking about that, but let me know what you guys think about options trading in general below. Okay, so shoot. I was pretty down on myself all day due to how I traded this position earlier. And I did discuss this more in the trade alert, just to kind of preface that. I've had days where I've lost out on a lot more gains and been perfectly fine. But this one just hit different because there are certain things that I should have done that now seem very obvious in retrospect. And I'll kind of, before we move on to the specifics, after we read over this, I'll go over this right here. Okay, so I want to quickly break down where I went wrong and what I've learned from this fairly rare experience trading options contracts that expire in 1 to 2 days. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. I'll read this because this prefaces the trade itself. I've had high expectations around this position for weeks. And as you can already tell, it is Guardant Health, or ticker symbol GH. I'll break down the chart in a little bit because I do reference it here. This morning, exactly what I expected to happen and what I've been, calling for in the newsletters and for the past weeks, months even, happened. And I simply didn't catch it in time. Even if you're conceptually right, timing is everything in this game. And this morning, I was brutally reminded of this. Okay. So once again, let me just go over what happened this morning for you guys. As you can see here, this is Guardant Health, $30 call. As of today, the contract's closed at, we'll go to 5 minutes just to really zoom in here, okay? But for context, I gotta move this over to the side, okay? So let's zoom in here. For context, these are, as you guys just saw it zoomed out, this is a very, very significant line of resistance right here that I've been expecting to achieve prior to the contract expiration. And it was a buzzer beater, but we did it. So just as you can see, again, I'm just going to kind of hold my phone in my hand and draw these price ranges while we do this. You guys can see here that right here, May 18th was the beginning of the trading day right here as well. Guardant spiked 5% and spent, what was that, like half an hour or so around the line of resistance that I had in place. You can see from about 550 to 635, so like 45, 50 minutes, we were bouncing around the line of resistance, giving a lot of time to exit the position at a massive gain, up 150% on the day, right? But the thing is, go back to here, I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning, and I got to my computer around 6:30 a.m. At this time, Guardant was near its peak of the day, and I went into a state of excitement. I waited to see whether we could climb higher and temporarily, if we could further climb above temporarily broken resistance. And again, I say that because we did technically break above this line of resistance for, 20, 30 minutes, but immediately got rejected by that appropriately named line of resistance. And from there, it was kind of just a free fall. And that's what you see here, going from 150% up in the green to flat to down. We closed the day down 50%. So that's, from, 75 cents a contract down to 13 to 15 cents a contract. That's a brutal, brutal loss. And and again, there's a few things I didn't say in this that I did say in the Trade Alert newsletter. I did end up selling. For just full transparency, for the sake of this video, I did end up selling a good, I mean, from around 35 to 45 cents. So just average at 40 cents. I did end up selling, which is up 40% on the day, but still not what I could have done. I sold half of my position only at 40 cents and I held the other half, which again is now closed the day down. So again, you guys, I just didn't trade this perfectly. And I just want to go over my thoughts with you guys once again on what I could have done wrong. So I went into a state of excitement. The reason I have that written in red is because that is a red flag. You don't want to be excited. You want to stay rational, okay? This works in both ways. If a stock is selling off, don't get too afraid. I mean, unless you're trading these, which then you should get afraid, which is why you shouldn't trade these. But for the most part, if you have a long-term position and a stock starts going down, don't sell this. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but most of the time, it pays off to not freak out and not sell, okay? You lose money when you panic and you make a decision out of emotion and not rationale, okay? So stick to your game plan. That's just like the base. That's like the ground rule for what I'm talking about. And again, that's the reason I held on to these contracts. I've held these contracts for months now. And the reason I held them is because I stuck to my game plan because I was still confident, although so risky, that what my thesis could come to fruition, which again, it did. I just didn't time it correctly, and that's my fault. But instead, I should have kept a cool head and immediately taken 50% of my position off the table in that moment. So again, I took off half of my position around like 35, 40 cents. What I should have done is use this half hour. And again, I was like kind of in a daze and I got to my computer at 6:30. That odd 5 minutes before we fell off a cliff. So I kind of went into immediate euphoria and then immediate shock. So again, bottom line, I should have just woken up earlier, which I say here. But from this experience, I now understand that the day of expiration isn't actually the most volatile. It's the day before the day of expiration. And I've kind of always known this. But what happened today with GH provided a great example of the way stocks can be manipulated by market makers in order to heavily sway the price action of options contracts. So I kind of want to elaborate on that as well. Garden Health, and again, you can tell that this stock is heavily technically traded. It's been looking very, very good since their earnings report, which I was very, very bullish on May 10th. We saw that massive spike up. Been bullish on it since. You can see that we did reclaim this medium-term ascending channel, which did set the line of resistance that we ended up perfectly testing, which was my initial target. But I only freaking woke up sooner and just got to my computer sooner. I should have showered this morning. I should have just came and sat down on my computer. But, it's all 2020 in retrospect. What can you do? Came up here, perfectly tested it. You can tell it's so heavily traded because we immediately sold off following a test of resistance. All of these quant funds probably bagged up on options contracts. Yesterday, we saw a little spike in the contracts yesterday right before close. I always see that as a sign that funds or quant traders, which are quantitative funds, are picking up calls, knowing that they're going to pump the stock the next day. They get everyone excited. They get retail Joes excited about buying call options in the stock. They buy it and then they sell it all up here and then dump everything like that. Okay, and this is speculative, but I'm pretty confident that there's some of that going on when you look at this chart. Okay, so that's what happened. Again, it sucks, but now I know pretty much. I'm waking up extra early on the Thursday prior to expiration if I do choose to trade contracts like this again. Okay, so lastly, I'm 100% going to place, and this is like what I will definitely do, and this is kind of a takeaway piece of, I don't want to call it advice, but give it some thought. The day before, so again, Wednesday, today's Thursday, the date of recording, tomorrow's Friday, the date of the contract expiration. I'm going to place sell orders for these contracts for the following day. That are 2 times what the closing price of the contracts were the day before. So again, example right here. These contracts that we're looking at right now closed yesterday, Wednesday, at 25 cents. So right before the markets close, I should have created a sell order for today at 50 cents in the case that I was right, which we were. Okay, because again, the contracts went all the way up to 70 cents. And those contracts, if I had created, sell half of my contracts or sell even like 25 to 30% of my overall position at a price of 50 cents. Okay. And that would have just assured me some profits and saved me some headache waking up in the morning because, again, I woke up. Honestly, I was excited, but I was also stressed because I was like, what is going on? And then I was even more stressed because we fell off a cliff, okay? So, again, the day before, I would say just what I'll probably do is 30% of my position, 2x the closing price of the contract if I am once again going to trade these again. But, you know, on the bright side, let's close this out. I still came out with some gains, and I still got to create a new longer-term position in Garden, which I did. Again, if you want to know exactly which position I have on Garden, all the other exciting growth plays in the portfolio, because Garden's only one of many. First link in the description. But I'm so bullish on the stock, and honestly, I still have some faith that, you know, maybe the remainder of these 519 contracts that I still have can show up to the birthday party with some gains tomorrow. Futures are green right now, so let's hope that this optimism can carry over. Again, the markets are looking great. It'd be sick. I also have some Coinbase calls that expire tomorrow for full transparency. We'll see about those, but we'll see what happens. Again, be the best birthday gift ever. I was especially pissed because, again, this is the birthday gift I wanted. The markets gave it to me, and I just fucking blew it. But that's the name of the game sometimes, you guys. Sometimes the game slaps you right in the face. But you learn, and you know, hopefully you can share what you learned with others who are trying to do what, in my situation, have been fortunate to make a living doing. And again, sometimes you fail. I failed so much. But again, you learn from your failure, you get back up, you get stronger, and you move forward and keep your eyes on the road ahead. Okay? So we'll call it there, you guys. I appreciate you watching. I look forward to having you guys as a member of Waves Capital, and I'll talk to you in the comments downstairs as always. Until next time, always remember, take action. Make waves. Peace, team.